All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're unpacking a highly unique, honestly pretty wild cosmic worldview that came out of Denmark in the late 1960s. Think of it as this perfect storm of Cold War paranoia clashing with space-age mysticism. We're going to be your impartial guides through the incredibly dense philosophy of Knud Weiking and Er. And look, this isn't your standard flying saucer story. Not at all. What we have here is a staggering blend of alternative physics, ancient prophecies, and massive industrial construction projects, all supposedly dictated by voices from the cosmos.
And right off the bat, Weiking sets some incredibly high stakes for humanity. Just listen to this chilling warning. You stand today with global murder in your hands. The core of his whole message is this urgent prophecy of imminent apocalyptic destruction. According to the source material, humanity is teetering right on the brink of totally annihilating itself, and our absolutely only hope is a complete elevation of our spiritual and scientific understanding.
So to make sense of this sprawling cosmic blueprint, we've organized the information into 5 key pillars. 1, the universal link prophecies. 2, building the symbolic bunker. 3, the cosmic particle machine. 4, the summarum rebus. And 5, humanity's final choice. Starting with Section 1, the universal link prophecies, tracing the messengers.
According to Weiking, his experiences are far from isolated. They actually belong to what he calls the universal link, which is this precise historical timeline spanning the globe. It starts back in 1917 with the famous Fatima incident in Portugal, where children allegedly received visions warning of global conflict. Then it jumps to India in 1925, where Meher Baba reportedly received a message so shocking he took a lifelong vow of silence. Next up is England in 1961, with Richard Graves claiming contact with a flaming entity. And finally, it culminates with Weiking himself in Denmark in 1967.
Now picture this, because this is where it gets really interesting. Weiking wasn't some guru meditating on a mountaintop. He was a Copenhagen taxi driver who had just wrapped up a grueling late-night shift. It's 1:15 in the morning, he's standing in his living room peeling an orange, smoking a cigarette, when suddenly a disembodied voice clearly instructs him to put the cigarette out. From that startlingly ordinary, honestly almost comical little moment, his entire life was essentially hijacked by these cosmic communications.
Now, it's really crucial to understand that Weiking absolutely insists the universal link is not a religion, it's not a sect, and it's certainly not a political party. He defines it as a global collective. Whether it's through direct physical encounters or telepathic visions, he claims thousands of people all over the world are independently receiving the exact same cosmic blueprint for humanity's survival.
Moving on to Section 2, building the symbolic bunker, physical demands of spiritual voices.
So these spiritual messages didn't just stay philosophical, they quickly escalated into some seriously baffling, massive industrial demands. Literally out of nowhere, the voices commanded Weiking to procure 25 tons of 99% pure lead, and it had to be rolled exactly 4 millimeters thick. Then came an order for 72 tons of custom-cut Swedish timber, plus the excavation of 8,500 tons of earth to build what they called a symbolic bunker. And incredibly, they managed to complete this logistical nightmare just days before Christmas in 1967. The kicker? They had absolutely no idea what it was actually for, only that total obedience was required.
Why go through all that trouble and extreme precaution? Well, it's because of the intense danger supposedly surrounding these entities. Weiking claims that 30 meters is the exact radius of a grounded craft's protective energy field. If a person without the correct spiritual frequency or vibration steps within that 30-meter boundary, the sheer power of its magnetic field will literally crush them to dust. It's a pretty stark reminder of the lethal cosmic forces they believed were at play here.
Let's hit Section 3, the cosmic particle machine, Er. Alternative physics.
To really grasp this worldview, you kind of have to throw traditional physics right out the window. Guided by the 25-year work of Weiking's collaborator Er. While conventional science relies on centrifugal force and an aligned magnetic axis, Jensen's cosmic science argues the universe is actually driven by a centripetal, inward-pulling force. He claims the Earth's internal magnets are actually shifted and off-center, and in his mind, that shift provides the true explanation for ocean currents, tides, and even the ice caps. It is a total ground-up reimagining of planetary mechanics.
Because of these alternative physics, the term UFO is entirely rejected by them. Instead, they call them particle seekers. In this framework, these aren't just your standard flying metal ships.
They are miniature, localized suns. By generating their own gravity fields, they emit light just as a byproduct of constantly creating elemental particles. Basically, they are supposedly tapping into the exact same cosmic mechanisms that give birth to planets and stars.
Which brings us to Section 4, the Summarum Rebus, decoding the 1957 poem.
This part is a massive cryptic puzzle. It centers on a poetic riddle called the Summarum, written by Jensen via automatic writing back in 1957. Weiking dissects lines from it, like, "Read, it is written in the desert sand," interpreting it as a direct reference to the Great Pyramid. But in Weiking's reality, the Great Pyramid isn't just a tomb. He claims it's actually 62,000 years old, and its physical dimensions perfectly mirror their cosmic math and the very structure of our solar system.
The poem constantly circles back to this really enigmatic formula, QRST. To Weiking and Jensen, this isn't just wordplay. It's the literal metaphysical key to anti-gravity. They believe that by understanding how a sphere interacts with space through specific intersections and towering forces, you could manipulate the very fabric of reality. Weiking even goes so far as to claim this specific formula is the hidden mechanics behind biblical miracles. That's right, according to this blueprint, Jesus wasn't using divine magic to walk on water. He was just an absolute expert in QRST physics.
So if we take a step back, you can really see the radical reframing required here. Everything mystical gets this quasi-scientific explanation. Human progress? It's not about inventing better microchips, it's about spiritual vibration alignment. Miracles? Well, that's just advanced physics. Unexplained lights in the sky? Those are intelligent, cosmic particle sorting mechanisms sent down here with a very specific and very urgent purpose.
Finally, Section 5, Humanity's Final Choice, the Apocalyptic Ultimatum.
Where does this all lead? Well, to a pretty terrifying apocalyptic ultimatum. Reflecting the absolute peak nuclear anxieties of the late 1960s, Wang states humanity is in immediate danger of a third world war. He specifically highlights the horrors of strontium-90 radiation from nuclear fallout. The cosmic voices project a catastrophic loss of 4 billion lives, basically framing humanity as a species entirely consumed by a principle of murder because of the weapons we relentlessly manufacture.
Which brings us to their most chilling claim of all. A cosmic sorting mechanism is rapidly approaching, and it is going to divide humanity into two distinct camps. And this division won't be based on wealth, borders, or power. No, it's based entirely on your spiritual frequency and your willingness to abandon violence. The entities make one thing abundantly clear. They are absolutely not coming down here to save us from ourselves. They are coming to force a choice.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, we're left with this ultimate binary choice from Waking's worldview. Will humanity manage to decipher the cosmic blueprint and elevated spiritual frequency, or will we succumb to the global destruction promised by our own earthly weapons? Are these the profound warnings of a highly advanced cosmic intelligence? Or are they the incredibly intricate, desperate musings of a generation completely terrified by the looming shadow of the nuclear age? The blueprint has been laid out, but the interpretation and the choice remains yours. Thanks for exploring this remarkable piece of history with us.